Yeah, hangitiyo. Petty kids lang impela bebuthi. Kimo Peter Pan, I'm so fly, she's a bed.
You already know who we are. You know, like rappers say, it's your boy. You already know who it is. Nah, nigga, we don't.
It's your boy King Kong.
Now I'm Clinton, the director.
And I'm Xolani, the guy behind everything. The
Wow.
engineer, the man pulling the strings. Geppetto, come by many names.
Wow. I don't know about all that, but yes, he is. Is it the Guluva video? Because for some reason it feels like we've started something that's beyond that music video.
I feel like we're creating a storyline or a series, or basically the truth about what's happening in Bulawayo, to be honest.
Sort of.
Yeah.
So I guess that takes us to the theme of the video. It was satire, you know, because King Kong is already, you know, synonymous with bananas because he's always carrying a banana.
Yeah.
Previous videos. And a banana republic is like a state that is poorly run, yeah? It's more of a reference to the state of affairs in our own industry, sort of. Bananas are also food, but in this sense, they're also currency. They're everything. You can eat them, you can use them to buy, you can like, you know, it's deep.
Anything for the bananas!
You know?
I want bananas! Bananas are the future! Banana forever! The whole setting is on someone's head city, copy, whatever you want to call it.
In a sense, it's like he's always thinking about the underprivileged and how to exploit them.
And how they're going to take away his bananas.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's also insecure because those are the same people that are a threat to him. So that's why they're on his medulla.
Or blancata.
And then we're introduced to
the gang.
The gang, yeah. But if we're breaking it down, we're introduced to the youthie, who is lying on the ground. Just in case you didn't notice, there's
youthie or the youth? The youth,
a young man. They get high.
He's stuck, really.
He's stuck. He can't move, you know. No.
He's already lying comfortably on a bag of cement.
The first character we're introduced to is the raccoon, who represents Tebza. He's nimble, he's fast, you know, he's just moving through the whole. His shot gives us a larger view of the hood, so to speak of. So we get introduced to Tebza.
We got more houses in the budget. Last time we had one, now we have an entire hood.
Yeah, I mean, the ideas get better with time, I guess. So yeah, we're introduced to the gang, the producer who's recording Cosmos, represented by the cow, because it's Cosmos and Gomo. And then we have our executive producer, Fish. It's a shark in a fishbowl. I wanted to make it a shark because, you know, big fish in a small pond. Like that's just how it feels like, you know, around here. And if you know fish, is a big fish, you know. And then we have CTL, you know, is the one on the mic when introduced to the studio, is the dog killing it on the mic like that. Game, exactly. So that's what it represents. And we also have Eustace, who's sitting outside. The one who's watching Tebza come in. If you know Eustace, if you used to watch cartoons back in the day, you know, from Courage the Cowardly Dog, that was just a nice reference that we decided to just throw in there. You know, he's out there watching his big dog in the Injai game.
It's kind of funny how the studio is a shack, but all of the equipment is fresh and clean. They're still willing to invest in their craft. But well, that's not enough to pay the bills.
No, it's not. Everyone has a passion. Most people want to be on the straight and narrow, you know? No one wants to be a criminal looking over their shoulder all the time. But then, you know, at the show where it begins. So then we get introduced to the main man, the big boss.
The gorilla, me, I'm back. I thought you was gonna be the main actor. Of course, now I'm sounding a bit egotistic, but hey, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
So yeah, bring him in like the big boss that he is. Taking these big strides forward, you know. It's the big boss that he is, you know, heavyweight, big steps. And they're discussing the whole thing. Introduces the car, you know, futuristic Honda Fit.
With an AKA number plate.
With a tribute to the, you know, one of the greatest to ever do it in Africa. We didn't want to limit our imagination. Because the car comes and, you know, it's a Tony Stark
Iron Man reference.
Iron Man's reference, like the suit obviously goes out and then it flies. Those are creative liberties that you take when you're dealing with Blender, you know, animation. You can create a world of your own making. Look at all the animations that we've seen. We have cow and chicken, we have chicken. What was that? Cat, dog, like a dog, this other side and a cat. You can do whatever you want.
To the point where the junkie even just woke up and was like, hey,
Yeah, I think we did it unintentionally, but it's also like we gave these guys a superpower, sort of like the artists. They have this nice flashy car that just flies because no one makes it from that place. Sort of like Bulawayo. And I'm joking. But yeah, you know, Texas, we fly through, nice cinematic shot of the car going up, man. That is a fire shot. I think that's my best shot from the...
That's your best shot?
That's my favorite shot.
Oh.
It's that one and I think towards the end, all of them, just towards the end, that whole sequence where Fat Man comes in his suit already, the lighting there. It's just really nice for me, those two. Yeah.
So now they're on the way to the bank.
On the way to the bank.
There's no airline in Head City, but they still managed to fly.
Hey man, Ngabo Guluva, you know the gangsters, you make a way where there's no way. You do what you gotta. And it's like a futuristic heist. So they get there, they do their thing, blow up the hatch, and they have this nice contraption that goes down into the vault. The
contraption also came out of nowhere.
I mean, it wasn't a car, you know, it's an Iron Man car.
It's a ghost car.
You know, it was there, you just didn't see it. It was there. The car is literally hovering on top of the bank.
Instead of doing low blows, we just came straight for the head, straight from the sky.
Brilliant guy.
Boom, 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 boom. Did my thing. Then, hey, the bank manager managed to see me.
The bank, or at least the vault, the building has a blue roof. We thought it was a funny reference, you know, for those who get it.
If you don't know the blue roof, 2013, then cheapo.
Kanoskazi blue roof, ndokrokhwa, robwa, mpama. You know, so yeah, that's that. Also, another reference in the bank that you might not have noticed is Cosmos also works at the bank. The job obviously has to be an inside job. For them to just go there, do everything so perfectly, you need to have all the information. That's why Mapoloncha goes into the vault alone, because Cosmos wants to maintain his clean.
Cosmos is kind of fat, just like the panda and the sloth too in the bank. Because in the bank, like, you always have two stereotypes. Yeah. Either you're fat or you're extremely slow.
You know, it can take you 1 hour to get to the front when it's just 3 of you in a queue, so.
Like, as they're robbing the bank, the manager apparently was sleeping. Carrying that much weight, you know,
fat man.
It's a lot of weight. But anyways, the manager wakes up and sees Mapolonche just taking his bananas. And he's like, oh shit. We don't care. We'll take whatever we want. Screw the system.
As they're leaving, as they're done, you know, robbing the bank, he walks in and he has transformed.
I would love to say Batman, but hey, it's Fat Man. It's kind of like a nice term.
We actually never discussed why he has that, the Batman helmet. You already had that guy, Billy, before, you said, but yeah.
There's this one asset pack which had like all of these funny masks and these costumes. And I'm like, oh, imagine if the bank manager was also the hero of the show.
I guess we can say a righteous villain because Mapoloncha is, you know, he's taking from those who are taking. It's like a modern day villain, you know. All these villains have justifications. I mean, you watch all the Marvel films, you know, all of them have justifications for doing what they do. Overpopulation, unequal distribution of resources.
Injustice.
So who's really the villain? Who's really the hero? That's pretty much the progression of the video, of the story. Pretty simple story if you look at it.
The car basically just flies
The car flies in and then we see him following, you know.
Once it's bananas.
And you can see the way that he's in hot pursuit, so you can already tell that the story is not off.
We kind of have to leave it at a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
If you want us to continue, say yes in the comment section.
Comments are here. Yeah.
No, comments are down.
Comments are here. Stay tuned for more. 2 months. 2 months to get like what, 2 minutes? There's a lot of work, man. Like, I can imagine for the next project, because obviously you have to up your game the more you go. how long it's gonna take us. It's gonna be longer.
I wouldn't say it should take longer per se. I think we should like try and involve more people. But hey, where do you get that in Bulawayo, in this banana republic where this is a problem?
Yeah,
Time is hard to come by.
it's crazy.
I'm still very happy.
I think for me, the crazy thing is just how long it takes, how much time it takes to get all this stuff together, like to make sure that the details are on point, the movements, you know, the reactions, everything. As you can
The
see,
environment makes sense. The lighting is all right.
I like working in this world, you know, you can do anything. Unlimited imagination. It's all about execution.
But it's unlimited work, unlimited hard work.
Why do you look high?
I'm not high, bro. Are you shooting?
Hey,
They were shooting.
finally, the movie was finished. Finally, I could take the screen one more time.
You need obviously someone like Xolani who is obsessive when it comes to a project, you know.
You need a solid idea
Definitely an idea, because
and direction. Like you can have all of the skills, you can have all of the smarts, but you always need like someone to say, hey,
That's
I
me.
think we can add that. I think we can add that. You need someone to spice up the project.
Mm-hmm.
And with what you've seen throughout the whole project, like there was a lot of humor, a lot of like small jabs in there. That was all clean
do you
to
want to get into what the technical aspects of it? It's like once you worked with Premiere Pro, maybe After Effects, some of these things you know how to, you know, keyframe, stuff like that. And of course with Blender there's more,
textures, lighting.
you know, but these things are pretty much similar. I think I would say for anyone who's watching and trying to figure out how to even begin to do this is asking yourself, like, what do you need equipment wise in the beginning? Like, how much storage do you need? How much processing power do you need? You know,
And most of all, what's your idea?
yes.
Actually, for this project, I pretty much downloaded everything, like from the Honda Fit to the Shack. Then with the human characters, I used an application called Make Human. So with Make Human, like you can pretty much generate people, like of different shapes and different sizes, and put some costumes or outfits on them. So for the bike manager, we decided to make a fat man, make him as fat as possible, politician fat, then dress him up in a suit. And also I was able to create like the druggie, the kids,
Yeah.
and the bank extras.
The kids are actually shrunk in adults. If you look at them closely, you can tell, there's a 20-year-old baby.
It was a matter of building a set around our main characters.
Yeah.
Like once you have an idea of your entire set, you can always like add in the other stuff, the extras, the other shacks. Then after like we had everything laid out and set up, we had to like do the animations. But we didn't start off with the final animations. We started off like blocking everything, like making sure that the camera was moving right, or the subjects were on the right path.
How much camera knowledge do you need to have?
You do need some camera knowledge, because once you like really know how a camera works, you can really like make the Blender camera do more. It's almost like with the last project, like the drone shot was from understanding how drones move. Then with this one, I mean, we've never done a one take before, and now it was kind of possible with an animated camera, which could pretty much move into tight spaces and all that. After we had all of the movements dialed in, we got a rough cut of like what we wanted. That's when the animation started. Like that's when we got the hands to move, we got the car to do its thing, and we got like the characters walking. Sort of like walking, whatever resembled walking in a sense.
It takes a lot of technicality to get the movements accurate.
Because it's not like walking in real life. You have to like literally move a puppet bone by bone into what looks like walking in a sense. Everything was built step by step, step by step. Like you start off with the modeling, then you place your characters, your textures, everything. Then you place your movements.
So far we're focusing on satire because it's satirical, right?
Yeah, it's really a nice way of seeing what you can do with the technology.
For you to be accurately satirical, you need a vast knowledge of previous stuff that has happened, political, you know, entertainment, current affairs, not to mention just the knowledge that you need for, you know, filmmaking, camera work, blocking, like you were saying.
They will make the whole thing relatable in a sense to anyone watching. Of course, it might be over the top, but it kind of does make sense.
I really like the Honda Fit because just go outside them and you see like 10 Honda Fits within a space of 5 minutes. They're all over the place. Such a simple thing.
Have you ever seen a Honda Fit in
No,
animation?
you've never seen
before?
it before. Yeah, it's always
One
this-
that's hovering and there's butterfly doors.
Yeah. It's the simplicity but the complexity in the same space. The empty banana reference, you know.
Yeah, man, times got tough. You know, we had to do what we had to do.
I was like, that's a real exaggeration of the situation. It's dire. Things are tough. But then he exchanges the empty banana for a gun.
A toy gun.
It's a real gun,
It's
but
really
it's a toy gun.
dark, you know, how like all he has is a toy gun. Even if you try to fight the system, like that's all you have. That's your hope, a toy gun.
A toy
But
gun.
you're gonna make it work with the help of the digital gods up there, giving us our car, making us fly, all of that. So anything is possible if you believe. Even me.
But he said,